Hey there, this is Wally Wabowlhead and this is Wally Wabowlhead's Quick Bite. Today is the 9th of November 2016. Happy Hump Day to everyone. I am coming to you live right now in my basement, aka my own private spin studio, to talk about HIIT, or high intensity interval training. It's a not necessarily a new way to work out, but according to recent studies, there was a recent study done that indicated that it looked at two separate groups of people. One group did 30 minutes of steady state aerobic activity. So for example, just sitting on a spin bike, spinning at a consistent rate for a half an hour. And the other group doing interval training, which is super high intensity and then backing off super high intensity for 20 minutes. So there was steady state at half an hour, interval training for 20 minutes. Similar groups of people. Over the course of 30 days, both groups had lost roughly the same amount of weight, but the high intensity interval group had lost more fat and gained muscle. So it's a, if your goal with regards to weight management is to get rid of the fat and put on some muscle, which I know for nearly all men out there it is. You don't want to wind up being, vanity tells you that you want, the alpha male physique type scenario. Females are a little bit different, but the object is typically to get rid of the fat and to keep or gain the muscle. High intensity interval training is the way to do that. I'm about to get into my first sprint here. 30 seconds, and you just blast it as hard as you can go. It's, I don't know how long I'll be able to talk for, but the workout, under half an hour, you just do 8 30-second sprints where you're going full bore. 10 seconds left. And then it's over. And you cool down. If you remember back to, people that are around my age, back to high school, and before that playing soccer, we used to do things called Indian sprints, which was same concept. But from my experience, and getting back to what I was saying before, the goal is to, with regards to weight management, this is one of the problems, the tricky parts about it, is that everybody monitors weight management by looking down at the scale. And typically, you might be losing muscle, when what you want to be doing is losing fat and either maintaining or gaining muscle mass. So how do you do that? This is one of the ways that I've found that it works, and it's quick. Rather than going to the gym, sitting on a treadmill or a stair climber, an elliptical for an hour every day, you may actually get more benefit out of working out for 20 minutes super hard. That being said, consult a physician. Because if you're someone who isn't used to exercising regularly, and all of a sudden you go out there and start sprinting, you could get into some trouble with your heart. I've been doing it for years. I've also had problems, not necessarily an addiction to exercise, but depending on who you ask, they would say that, where it's kind of counterintuitive. You think that maybe less exercise, or how could less exercise actually be better for you? It took me a while of kind of coming to my senses, if you will, and saying, okay, let's try this. So now my weight's going up, my waist size is going down. I mean, I'm not doing 100-mile bicycle rides anymore, but it's an interesting way to look at it. The concept of less is more, exercising smarter, eating smarter, and making sure that you're getting enough rest. You know, lowering your stress levels. There's a gazillion different functions that go into the entire model that is your life. And high intensity interval training with regards to the cardiovascular endurance component of fitness. And here comes my second interval. We're off. I think this is, from my experience in 40 years of messing around with diet and exercise, with regards to the exercise component, the endurance component, this is my current favorite. Who knows what's going to happen next week? Because it does change. I'm just as fickle as exercise. So with that, I've got another 6 intervals to go. The way that I'm doing this, by the way, is beneath here. I've got my iPad set up with GCN, the Global Cycling Network, through YouTube. They've got a bunch of free videos. You just stream them. This one's only half an hour. But yeah, it's a good, cheap way. If you've never been to a spin class at your gym, they're a lot of fun too. Plus you get to wear spandex. Who doesn't like that? So with that, this is Wally Wabowlhead, and this is Wally Wabowlhead's Quick Bite. Home.